The introduction to the creation story dives into the foundational narrative of how life and the universe came into existence according to various cultural and religious beliefs, with a primary focus on the Judeo-Christian account found in the Book of Genesis. This concept serves as a cornerstone for many belief systems, offering a framework for understanding the origins of humanity, the world, and the moral order. Its significance lies in its profound influence on religious, philosophical, and cultural paradigms, shaping the ethical and existential outlooks of countless individuals and societies. A key aspect of the creation story is its role in explaining the existence of the universe and life as intentional and purposeful. This has inspired numerous theological interpretations and debates regarding the nature of divinity and humanity's place within creation. An example of the story's real-world application is seen in various artistic expressions, such as paintings and sculptures, which depict scenes from Genesis, thus highlighting its impact on culture and the arts. Another example is in the realm of education and law, particularly in parts of the United States, where discussions around teaching creationism versus evolution in schools have prompted legal battles and policy decisions, illustrating the ongoing influence and controversy surrounding the creation narrative. Supporters of the creation story often argue that it provides vital moral and ethical guidance, offering a sense of purpose and accountability to a higher power, thereby fostering community cohesion and individual responsibility. However, this perspective is not without challenges. One primary controversy involves the conflict between creationism and scientific explanations like the theory of evolution. Critics argue that the biblical account of creation lacks empirical evidence, and that its inclusion in scientific discourse undermines educational integrity. Moreover, there are alternative viewpoints within religious communities, such as theistic evolutionists, who attempt to reconcile religious texts with scientific findings, suggesting that they are not necessarily mutually exclusive. The introduction to the creation story also connects with broader aspects of the Genesis narrative by setting the stage for themes of fall and redemption, which are central to many theological doctrines. This foundational story influences how adherents interpret other parts of their religious texts and understand their spiritual and moral duties. In essence, the introduction to the creation story is not merely an account of beginnings, but a lens through which believers view their existence, purpose, and the world around them. By exploring these narratives, we gain insight into how deeply they shape personal and collective identities, moral frameworks, and cultural legacies. The heading, The Creation Story, a deeper look at the genesis of life, dives into the intricate narrative of how life began, as depicted in religious and cultural texts, specifically the Genesis creation story from the Bible. This concept serves as a cornerstone for understanding not only the theological aspects of human origin, but also the broader philosophical and existential questions surrounding the inception of life. It speaks to the innate human curiosity about where we come from and our place in the universe. The significance of the Genesis creation story lies in its profound influence on cultural, religious, and historical contexts. It offers a framework for the worldview of billions, shaping ethical values, societal norms, and even scientific exploration. By exploring the creation story more deeply, we're invited to appreciate its allegorical richness and how it informs humanity's quest for meaning. In terms of real-world application, one example is the influence of the Genesis creation narrative on art and literature. From the Sistine Chapel's ceiling to Milton's Paradise Lost, artists and writers have drawn inspiration from these themes, exploring human existence, fallibility, and redemption. Another example is its impact on the dialogue between science and religion, notably during debates over evolution and creationism in education. Here, the Genesis account is often juxtaposed with scientific theories, prompting discussions about the nature of knowledge and faith. Supporters of the Genesis creation story argue that it provides ethical guidance and fosters a sense of interconnectedness among all living things. It also acts as a cultural touchstone, preserving historical narratives that have molded communities over millennia. However, challenges arise when it's interpreted literally. causing friction with scientific perspectives on evolution and the age of the Earth. This has sparked controversies, such as the Scopes trial, and continues to be a contentious topic in educational settings. The Genesis creation story connects to other aspects of theological thought, such as the nature of God, the concept of sin, and the role of humanity within creation. It influences religious practices, beliefs, and the interpretation of divine intervention in the world. By examining this story in depth, we gain insights into how ancient narratives continue to shape contemporary beliefs and human behavior, highlighting the enduring power of storytelling in shaping human understanding of life's origins. The Genesis account. An overview serves as an essential foundation for understanding the creation story in religious and philosophical contexts. The Genesis account refers to the biblical narrative found in the book of Genesis, which describes the origins of the universe, earth, and life from a Judeo-Christian perspective. It details the actions of a divine creator over a 6-day period, culminating in the creation of humanity. This account is significant because it offers a framework for interpreting the nature of existence and humanity's place within it. It has profoundly influenced religious thought, ethics, and the understanding of human identity across cultures. In terms of its importance, the Genesis account forms a pivotal element in the broader conversation about life's origins, setting a foundation for theological discussions and moral teachings. It has shaped cultural norms, influenced legal systems, and provided moral guidance throughout history. For instance, the idea of humans being created in the image of God is a cornerstone for discussions about human dignity and rights. Additionally, the Genesis narrative's portrayal of the stewardship role bestowed upon humanity has informed environmental ethics and conservation efforts, prompting individuals and organizations to view environmental care as a form of divine mandate. Specific examples of the Genesis account's influence can be seen in literature and art. John Milton's Paradise Lost deeply explores themes of creation, fall, and redemption, drawing heavily from Genesis to discuss free will and grace. Similarly, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling features vivid depictions of the Genesis story, influencing countless works of art that grapple with themes of creation and divine power. Opinions supporting the Genesis account highlight its allegorical richness and capacity to convey profound truths about human nature and divine intention, regardless of literal interpretation. However, this narrative is not without controversy. Scientific communities often challenge its literal interpretation, citing evolutionary theory and geological evidence that contradict a young Earth chronology. Moreover, alternative creation stories from other cultures and religious traditions offer different perspectives, encouraging a broader and more inclusive discourse on human origins. The Genesis account connects deeply with broader thematic elements in the creation story, such as the exploration of good and evil, human responsibility, and the quest for knowledge. It influences various aspects of religious teachings, ethical paradigms, and even societal norms, facilitating a dialogue that transcends religious boundaries. By examining the Genesis account, one gains insight into the complex interplay between faith, culture, and science, enriching the overall understanding of the genesis of life. The concept of the creation story, a deeper look at the genesis of life, delves into the origins of life as illustrated in religious texts, primarily focusing on the biblical account found in the book of Genesis. This narrative describes how life and the universe were brought into existence through divine intervention. In Genesis, God creates the world in 6 days, culminating with the creation of humans, Adam and Eve, who are made in God's image. This story not only serves as a religious explanation for the origins of life, but also offers insight into the cultural, moral, and philosophical foundations of many societies. The significance of this creation story lies in its profound impact on human understanding of life, purpose, and morality. It has shaped religious beliefs and cultural practices for centuries, influencing everything from art and literature to social norms and laws. For many believers, Genesis provides a framework for understanding their place in the universe and the nature of their existence. In terms of specific examples, the creation story has inspired countless artistic expressions, including Michelangelo's depiction of the creation of Adam on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. This masterpiece not only captures the moment of divine creation, but also symbolizes human potential and connection to the divine. Another example is the influence of Genesis on environmental ethics, as the directive to have dominion over the earth has been interpreted in various ways, affecting how humanity interacts with nature. There are numerous interpretations and opinions supporting the creation story's relevance. Some view it as a literal account of historical events, while others see it as allegorical, offering moral and spiritual lessons rather than scientific explanations. Scholars like John Walton advocate for understanding Genesis within its ancient Near Eastern context, emphasizing its theological rather than literal significance. However, the creation story is not without its controversies and challenges. The rise of scientific explanations for the origin of life, such as the theory of evolution, has led to debates between creationism and evolution, with implications for education and public policy. Additionally, differing religious interpretations can lead to varied understandings and conflicts within and between faith communities. Ultimately, the creation story connects to broader themes of human identity, responsibility, and the quest for meaning. By examining its deeper implications, one can explore how beliefs about origins influence ethics, environmental stewardship, and the pursuit of knowledge, highlighting the enduring influence of this ancient narrative on contemporary life.